Loot Bet. Made for live betting.
Don't know how to build a team from scratch or find good teammates? DreamTeam.gg, the ultimate team building platform. Find and connect with new players, coaches and teams. Manage and monetize your team. Get on fast track to advance from novice to amateur and, if desired, to professional gamer. Join DreamTeam.gg today.
It's the quick scope! This is unreal! Anything is possible! Anything is possible! Ustillo is a monster, Tom!
Time for map number 2. We head to the pick of Renegades on Inferno, a map they've already had success here at StarSeries, the finals, of course, Season 5. Now, obviously, VP are down a map, and they lost their map pick. Things not looking good for the Polish Dream Team.
Yeah, especially because when you think back to the games they've played so far, Train has been a mainstay in all of their games. That's been where they've shown the most resilience. They didn't really put up too much of a fight. Maybe a couple of rounds on the CT side where that could have swung differently, but once they swapped over to the second half, not really a whole lot coming out of it. It seemed like Renegades, for the better part of it, was in full control. Except outside of that one 5v3 round, that Virtus.pro just kind of ran into a bit of a trap, or a saving Renegades, right? So not a whole lot going the way of the Polish squad, and I don't see anything really changing moving into Inferno.
Yeah, I'm going to completely agree with that one. This is not looking good on paper. But if we've learned anything from this event, we can say that things have been unpredictable.
Yeah, games are not being played on paper. That's definitely the case, and that we've seen that multiple times. But still, though, like everything points towards Renegades' victory.
Yeah.
Then again, they've had their fair share of instability as well. I guess when we saw them trample Hellraisers on Inferno, we were building up hope, thinking like, well, Renegades can definitely do this. They can take down Hellraisers in potentially 2, or if not 2, then at least 3 maps. That obviously didn't happen. That was a very one-sided affair when they got into the things, when Hellraisers finally woke up. But yeah, still some chances here for Virtus.pro to swing one back. But the problem is, when you look at what lies ahead even then, I think capture is going to be a tough task for them. It's going to be a tall order. Renegades are definitely a decent cash map as well, a decent cash team as well. So, I fear that this might be the end for VP in Kiev.
That's a shame to say, but of course, at least we have one Polish team going through the playoffs already with a guarantee. AGO yesterday found their 3-0 victory. And
2-1 versus Mouseboards. Very impressive stuff.
Yeah, that is not to be expected.
Definitely not. I mean, when I saw them beating, going into the event, again, I think more the analysts have echoed this as well. The fact that you could potentially see HGO making it through to the playoffs with a 3-2 score, barely eking it out, that kind of stuff, going 3-0. No way.
No way. The only other team that's done that is SK as well, which I would say is a surprise.
Yeah, exactly. I would have expected this to be Na'Vi, Mouse going that route. Obviously, factoring in that they wouldn't play each other at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, that tournament's giving some unexpected results, which is should make for fun playoffs, if nothing else. But Renegades, they've had a trend of doing this as well, though. Like Jacob mentioned in the pregame interview, they started out the last tournament as well to 0-2. they eventually brought it back. So might be looking at the same story for themselves this time around.
And Mouse Na'Vi, of course, you just say those two teams, they will be facing up against each other in a bit of time as well on the mainstream. And that's, of course, a 2-1 game, so they can both go through, but one team will be qualifying for the playoffs there and then. I don't know where that's going to go. I'm excited by that one. I will keep my eyes on that, I think.
Yeah, I feel like Na'Vi, obviously they had a bit of a screamer versus Tyler to start the tournament off, but ever since then they've had pretty comfortable wins. So I'd probably lean towards Na'Vi in that sense. Mouse Sports doesn't necessarily have the same strong map pool as they've had for quite a long time actually leading up to this. Their Mirage is starting to get figured out by other teams, so their go-to pick, their pretty much safe haven, the one map that we talked about them potentially being the best in the world on, is no longer that safe of a venture for them. And that is a bit worrying when you're going up against Na'Vi, who are, again, starting to play more maps, starting to play Nuke a whole lot more. Still Cash being a ban for them, but they're definitely proficient on most of the maps in the map pool.
Yeah, I mean, when we saw AGO play Mouse Sports yesterday, they actually picked Mirage, and I looked at that and I was like, what are you doing? And then they go and win 16-7. So yeah. Mouse Sports certainly taken a hit on that exact map, but as you can see, both these teams playing Inferno quite a lot of times.
Yeah, Renegades having more success with it. That said, we did see 16-13 versus HGO from Virtus.pro, so they have put up fights. Both teams lost to Godsend in pretty convincing fashion, but Renegades, as you could see by the results, have been very up and down. They're either smashing opponents or getting smashed. So it remains to be seen what kind of version of Renegades we're going to see in this one.
Well, we are into it. Knife round ahead, of course, so to see who will start on that CT side. I'm sure whoever wins that is going to be picking CT, because it is Inferno after all.
Yep. Here we go, slicing about. VP did manage to win the knife round on the first map. Didn't really do them any favors, even though they decided to start on the CT side. This time, Pasha versus Azza. Bit of a standoff, and eventually Pasha will close it out. So 4 kills for him. First time around, it was Bialy with 4 in the knife round. And then it's Big Papa Biceps, who's going to secure it for VP. And let's see if they actually decide to opt for the CT side or not.
Yeah. No surprise. But Renegades now starting T-side again. Like we already saw that on train, like you just said. 9-6 on the half, 2 Renegades despite being on a serious disadvantage. Now we head to a map where it's like, it's not even as CT-sided, and Renegades are coming off of the victory on the previous map, probably feeling confident and ready to go to set the pace.
And if I'm not mistaken, Renegades started T-side versus Hellraiser. No, they started CT-side on versus Hellraisers, actually.
Yeah, they did.
So we've seen that they have a solid CT-side, but again, obviously they managed to close out that game pretty quickly without too much issue. So they probably have confidence in both their T-sides and CT-sides. They even lost the CT-side pistol versus Hellraisers, so only dropping two weapon rounds.
Wow.
But in any case, Renegades should be up for the task, and soon enough we will get into this pistol round.
Yeah, so you sticking with this for Renegades? You think it's going to be a confident victory, or have you got any kind of little last-second self-doubts?
No, I'm still siding with Renegades. I had Renegades in 3, now I have Renegades in 2 instead.
Not really flip-flopping, only furthering your point. And now we head into it. It is going to be map number 2 of this best of 3. Obviously, for those unaware as well, NIP versus North is jumping into map 2 now after NIP are a map up as well on the mainstream. Yeah, but this is where you really want to stay around.
Definitely so. Inferno, classic map, and the Counter-Strike map pool always provides entertaining matches. So hoping this one will join the fray of that. See smoke and 2 flashes in the hands of Nifty. Outside of that, just Glocks and armor. No ZZs from UCLO this time around.
Ooh, rush B it seems for Renegades, and no info for VP, who play very passive on that B site. They do have a smoke, the flashbang's coming over, and snacks with the CZ if they dive on through to the CT spawn, but forget all of that. JKS has found the first kill, and Mihu cannot step up to the mark. It's JKS doubling down again, the pistol round king it seems. It was not only on train that he did the same, but here on Inferno, he is kicking up a storm.
Definitely is, and the retake with no utility is going to be pretty tough for VP. They have picked up a kit on Neo, so they have time at least to play with, but they have to root out so many Renegades players at this point.
Ooh, nice pre-fire though, Neo. Getting back in. The boost up at the back of the boxes was looking difficult, but now VP are just sitting standard. Azza not watching his backline. He hasn't got it covered. Finally, Jacob goes to the peak, and he can find 2 as well. So quick round from Renegades, it seems. VP, they for a second looked like they had a chance after that kill from Neo, but No.
Wasn't to be. No, you talked about this one in other instances when we've seen Inferno. The issue with the B bombs that if you're not able to stagger the push from the T's, it's so hard to get a rotation in time, and retaking, especially with no utility on that B bomb side, is a bit of a nightmare.
And pistols, right? USPs versus Glocks on the B site. You know, I'm calling out Glocks. I'm a big fan there.
Yeah, every angle you pretty much take outside of standing in CT spawn, which obviously doesn't get you any closer to the bomb, that's going to be golden territory for the Glock. Then you add in the man advantage in addition to it, so they can always do double peeks. Makes it all the much worse for Virtus.pro. We've seen Renegades have some issues holding on to their weapons and whatnot, or lives in general in these anti-ecos so far in this series. Maybe this will be different. VP, though, hoping for a bit of a slip-up on the side of Renegades.
But not a full commitment to this force from VP. We've got Neo and Snacks both saving some money, which actually surprises me considering the fact that they have been so successful, like you said. So we'll see if that comes back to haunt them.
I guess we didn't get to see Snacks up all that much on train. So maybe he wants to get on that early Pasha, though, considering he has invested, he's not going to have it unless Neo is going to drop something over. But yeah, double op setup on Inferno, not necessarily the most common thing to see, especially on a map, or especially for a team like Virtus.pro, who doesn't necessarily have the most proficient secondary oppers on their side. But in any case, Jacob's going to start things off, finding Mihu. A nice little tag there from Neo. Still nobody falling from the Aussies.
I think Renegades are taking this B side, but VP's just going to save. They just want to hold on to the pistols for the next round. Like, this is not retakeable. They couldn't do it in the pistol. They can't do it here, but Justillo looks to make some money with a map 10. Into second middle, he finds one. Quick trade from Snacks, but only an SMG to be retrieved, so VP still can't really do too much with this. Renegades don't need to chase. Nifty can with the UMP at least in play, but honestly, I would say save that to the next round and just kill them when they're on full pistols and no armor. Yeah,
that's the way to go about it. So, a bit of a standstill here as of right now, but both teams going to be okay with that. Renegades finally having an anti-eco to start things off, not going horribly wrong or not being on the edge of destruction. Bodyguard squads surrounding JKS, survives with 1 HP.
Jesus.
Obviously calculated.
Yeah, totally.
Knew that all along.
Did the maths.
There we have it, 2-0 for Renegades. Nice start so far, and as you mentioned, not going to be a whole lot to write home about in terms of purchases for Virtus.pro. It's only the saved weapons. Actually, Neo's going to invest in a smoke and 2 flashes. So maybe we're going to see a bit of a stack from VP. We saw it a whole lot towards now on the first map of Train, where they would stack up bomb sites in deficits. This time it's going to be more towards Banana. So maybe a pop flash out, see what happens as a result of that. But actually, no, they're going to rotate back for the time being. Not really in a position to push out here. Renegade's doing a good job of using utility to fend Virtus.pro off and hold them back.
VP maybe going for this boost here. Yep, Snacks is up top. Oh, no, he's not. He swapped. Mihu's up top.
Last time around, Renegades did check this position as well, so I would be surprised if they didn't go try something similar. There's 4 players from VP, though, on the B-bomb site. So again, this stack that we saw on Train, the Molotov, that's perfect for the boost as well. They've learned that a lesson. Mihu's going to have to drop down. They might reboost, actually, after the Molotov goes out, which might surprise Renegades, but they seem to be falling off, only leaving Jacob over towards the B-bomb site. And, well, that's going to be a real tall order for Pasha to be able to deal with this. Shows himself a mid. Doesn't get a kill. Jacob, though, over towards that B-bomb site, is able to do so.
Just needs to stay alive here. Doesn't need to even force kills because VP, they'll eventually chase. They don't really have anything to save, and Renegades have already taken the A site. VP may as well just go for this. Pasha can hold on to the armor, but everyone else may as well look for something. Even if it's only exits, that would be good enough for VP. Try and upgrade to these rifles.
I guess next, maybe he wants to hold on to the Molotov going into the next round. Obviously, no point in holding on to the Mac 10 unless you're doing something funky in AAPS, for instance, but yeah, rather passive approach from Virtus.pro. They want to hold on to as much as possible. I guess in addition to that, even though there's, again, not a whole lot of SMGs on the side of Renegades, it's only Nifty really can go for that big payday. Virtus.pro doesn't necessarily want to give an extra abundance of cash to the Renegade side.
Yeah, not even that. This goes into the theory that we kind of brought up a little bit this event about how a team will never really play around this, but if they know, if hypothetically, if Renegades had a bunch of SMGs here and VP knew it, if they just let Renegades keep these SMGs alive, then Renegades would run a bonus round, which yes, do win occasionally, but it would mean VP can go into a rifle and going, okay, we know we have better weaponry. Now, obviously they're not doing that, and they don't know what Renegades have because they didn't see them, but that's just a bit of theoretical Counter-Strike there.
Yeah, and it is actually going to be Snacks to wield the op going right off the bat. Comes off of him having the, I guess, no real investment going into the second round as well. And well, Neo is going to go for a MAC-10. It's being dropped off by Snacks.
Look at this pace though, Azza. Straight up to the top of Banana. Hasn't realized that Snacks is posted on the coffin with the AWP.
This was a recipe for success for them as well versus Hellraisers, though. Just constantly battering that B-bomb side. Hellraisers couldn't find a proper answer as to how to deal with it. And if VP can't either, then obviously you can't fault Renegades for doing it.
This AWP can make things very difficult here for the Aussies. They will still be looking to commit, though, for the time being, just holding outside of the site. And with a man lurking around in the apartments, Renegades maybe want to go for the late round backstab. Sending JKS in to kill some rotators. Now the push comes through. The Molotovs hitting the site, but the smoke's extinguishing them. Mihu at the back, and there's a shot for Snacks. Tag and a kill. Bomb dropped. All the info the VP need for that full rotate, but JKS is still on the back line. Snacks needs to find a second kill to at least delay this push back in, but him and Mihu both fall to the hands of Ustillo. It's the MAC-10 for Neo that actually has effect, and that's a second kill coming through. Stylish stuff for Neo, but somehow this round is still going on. It's Ustillo in a clutch, trying to force the kill, but he turns back around. Not sure about that one. VP are going to win it, and Neo gets 3 with a MAC-10. I don't know.
3 with a MAC-10 in addition to picking up the op as well. So, ton of money gained, ton of money saved. Everything just panning out perfectly for Virtus.pro in that round, and they actually find a stop to Renegades' B aggression and B pushes. And being able to do so early is obviously a massive get. Double op setup, though, coming in from Virtus.pro right off the bat. So even though they do win a bit of a freebie in that sense with Neo doing so much work, they're not going to be able to reap the rewards fully. They could very easily get reset still by Renegades, who do have an op on Nifty.
That's what they're looking for here. A slower approach to this round. Renegades don't just charge up the top of Banana. But if they can do that every round, if VP are going to play this passive on B, Renegades are going to have so much map control just gifted to them. You can see how wary they are, though, how scared they are of the potential of this AWP to be sitting in the top corner. And Renegades clear out the apartments again, just bit by bit, taking map control, playing slow, playing calculated, nothing wrong with that. VP going to move into Banana. Look at this push. Mihu's just gone straight for it. He's been flashed over the top, and he has taken kill to Azza, although Jacob keeps it back in check. A 4v4, although health lost on Jacob. And Pasha's still posted with the AWP, or one of the two up towards this A site. Renegade's about to walk into it.
Pasha actually turns back into the flash a little bit too early. That means he has to fall off the angle. Ooh. Spray through smoke. Neo goes down. Oh, Pasha misses a golden opportunity. Ustillo is actually going to be able to capitalize on it as well. That leaves Bialy all by his lonesome. He's in a good position here to deny bomb plant, but then again, it's 3 Renegades players he has to go up against as well. JKS not checking it for right now, but he's going to get into pit though, and well, Bialy might have lost his opportunity to strike here.
Oh, he's seen it.
Sees the gun barrel of Ustillo's weapon, but Ustillo's going to be able to find Snacks before Bialy even gets into the fray of things. So 1v3, Ustillo is going to make up for his fallen comrade. There we go. Renegades bring it right back. Virtus.pro forced to eco here, and this is potentially a double eco as well. That's the worst part about it.
I mean, they may as well just force, honestly, because, again, you know, while you can make an argument not to force in this situation, just so you have more to play with when it comes down to that buy round in terms of having the AWPs that VP want. They've already shown a double AWP and all the utility. But if you force here, it's not the end of the world. It just means you've got to eco next round as well. But that would happen regardless.
Yeah. So Renegades get an opportunity to build up some cash of their own. They've actually decided to hold on to the double ops setup here, which is not very common on the T side of Inferno.
And not against ecos as well, especially when VP have pistols. I like the Molotov though. It sections them off, allows them to take down Snacks. Azza one-tapping out Pasha. Look at this man. He loves his anti-eco kills. Talk about ADR. It's actually AZR.
AZRM as boosting his stats a little bit there. That's nice for him. You know, getting up for that first kill, first and only kill actually had found. But again, it's the same approach from Renegades. So that Molotov that they put down to section Virtus.pro off and not allowed him to push close, that's something they've been doing every single round they've gone towards Banana, barring the pistol round.
Yeah.
So there's a clear method behind what Renegades are doing in Virtus.pro, not really being able to do anything with it. The one successful defense we've seen was after the execute, and you know, that's going to be tough to do over the course of an entire game.
I like that, though, from VP. Smoke in mid, slows Renegades down, and then go for the B stack. The problem is Renegades are still committed towards A, at least for the time being. Flashing Banana, they try and get some information down on B. Neo is jump spotting with another smoke, and maybe trying to make Renegades think that they actually have weaponry to play with a little bit more than Renegades would have bargained for. But the issue is this B stack has been uncovered, or will about to be. There's only Bialy here, having moved back into position, showing the fact that he has only a P250. Renegades are going to quick push this A site. Jacob flashed round the corner, and yeah, this is completely uncovered. The jig is up, and VP's round is probably over. It's just about damage at this point, and once Renegades realise that they need to start to watch the back line, that's where Ustillo does look, because they do have the push coming down Banana at least, and some players already filtered out into the apartments. We have Neo very, very close. Nifty does flick to save his teammate's life, and his own, in fact. But yeah, this shouldn't be a problem for Renegades. No casualties just yet, and I doubt that's going to change.
There we have it. Ustillo closes it out, and yet again, another successful anti-eco from Renegades. Definitely stepping things up compared to what they do, what they were doing on Train. And that makes the job all the more tougher, really, for Virtus.pro. I mean, Renegades are sitting in this position without having to have any sort of impact from Nifty up till this point. He's got one frag, but that's not necessarily because he's been asked to do a whole lot. It's just the riflers on the side of Renegades being able to get it done.
Still a primary AWP, by the way.
Oh yeah, always. So that double AWP lives on in the hands of Renegades. And for now, we're seeing a bit of a different approach in Banana, at least from Virtus.pro. A bit more aggression. Snacks is going to take the aggressive angle in Banana. Or semi-aggressive angle, I guess. Compared to what they've been doing, it's very far forward. It doesn't even rotate off of the flash that comes into his face. So he might be able to actually find an early opening here. Ooh. Careful about when he switches, and then he does find Jacob, and that's Bomb as well. Aza finds Mihu. It's a bit unnecessary from the new recruit on the VP side. He should have been perfectly fine, allowing Snacks to do his thing, and he's going to follow up with the frag on Nifty as well. Rotations coming in here as we see some poking and prodding on the opposite side of the map. That's JKS going down to Bialy and Apps, but Bomb is still committed towards this B-bomb side inside the smoke. Aza just toying around. Snacks might not be aware that he's gotten past this because he does have a buddy in CT spawn who just missed Aza.
The thing is, he's waiting for someone to overface, and Snacks just isn't going for the peek. Oh, he spots him. There's a tag with the AWP, and the move in from CT from Neo can clean it up. Nice round from Snacks there. Good work, and Banana able to not only find the first and the second, but also delay that peak.
Yeah, that was the real big thing. And again, obviously, the Renegades players not being able to get anything done with the two-man squad they had in AAPS. If they find some kills,
that's a humiliating graphic,
bit of a brutal graphic to
really?
pull up. But, you know, fair is fair. Pasha hasn't really been able to get into the game so far. He's had the AWP in his hands at one point as well, but it's been Snacks to really make his mark on the game so far. But yeah, for Renegades, they're able to find at least equal trades over on that bomb site with the two-man squad and Apps. That might force Neo off and allow for Aza to get into a 1v1 versus Snacks. If he wants that out, at least you get a bomb plant out of the situation.
Oh, they've been doing that a lot, though. The wallbang, but also pre-fire on the corner to stop any kind of AWP or anyone posted in apartments, no matter the weaponry. VP held back, at least in Apps. And Renegades really are just putting it to them here. They're trying to make sure that VP know they have control.
They're dealing, doing some vandalism right now, breaking all the windows, wrecking all the walls. But VP, they've decided to go for a bit of a change-up. It's going to be Mihu as the sole defender towards B, and Snacks, as you can see, posted up in Arch. He's going to go for a shot through the smoke, not going to find it. Last time we saw VP try to do something like this, they got punished pretty heavily.
They got a 4-man stack up right now, so for Renegade to commit to this bomb site, VP they're going to be poised perfectly for it. In fact, very passive on B is Mihu. This is an extremely dangerous setup on this map to run, but it's going to work out because Renegades are going to walk right into this one. Neo, mollied out, has to smoke himself out of position. Pasha does find contact on short and somehow gets 3 kills out of nowhere with the M4, locking down this A site, leaving just JKS, and he's got a big clutch to unfold here if he wants to win this round. 25 seconds on the clock as he's already found the first man. But look at this rotation through the apartments. This might just seal the deal. Neo coming in through the back line. Another shot from JKS. But again, time is the biggest enemy here. Time. 15 seconds on the clock, and JKS still hasn't spotted this last man. He knows where Snacks is, but he's going to get caught from the back line. Neo playing the long game, and he will find the kill.
Yeah. Again, a little bit of an unnecessary wide peek from Mihu in that situation, giving away frag, and that potentially could spiral out of control. JKS is able to have his crosser at the right place at the right time as Snacks peeks out there, but Virtus.pro survive the scare for now, get up to 3 rounds. That also means that the money on Renegades is starting to wither down.
And I think Pasha heard the production as well. He had 0 kills there, goes and gets a 3K on defense from short.
But now they didn't bring up his stats over his head. Wow, so
now he gets 0 kills?
You know, for what everyone knows, he still has 0.
Yeah.
Might have to see a bit of an updated version of that, but Pasha definitely getting into the game eventually, and a 3-man setup from Virtus.pro here in Banana.
See, Jacob was ready to throw a smoke down just in case they mollied his spot, but they know he's here. They are fully aware. Mihu rounding the corner, and they're sectioned off by the smoke, but the push comes through regardless, pushing to their death. Mihu with 3 this time, and the bomb dropped in the open. VP locking down Banana. Mihu with 1 bullet left. I mean, that was optimistic. Getting them 4, buddy. Snacks is going to find the trade, luckily enough, but JKS 2 tagged up, 2 alone, and, well, 1v4.
2 out of hope, and Pasha has already made the rotation. Running through smokes hasn't been the recipe for success so far, and it's not going to be it to close out the round either for Renegades. A bit staggered there as well. Jacob being locked into a corner, that could have been a lot easier for him, I guess, if he has a teammate by Woodstacks to get the trade onto Mihu at least before he just unleashes on the next 2 Renegades members. But you see, like, as they push through the smoke, there's no flash or anything like that to make things harder for Mihu, and he's good enough of a player that he's going to take advantage of that any given day. So Virtus.pro, they're mounting a comeback, and they've also forced Renegades' economy to their knees. It's going to be ZZ's. Loss bonus is building up, though, on Renegades, so it's only going to be with this 1 eco, regardless if they get a bomb plant or not. But if you're Virtus.pro, obviously, you just want to deal with this as easy as possible. Smoke goes down for Bialy. It's going to allow Renegades to push forward through a smoke once again. It's going to have the exact same result to Mihu with the aggressive push-up, and it's going to find Azza waiting for him as well.
I've never seen a more 1-by-1 staggered push from Renegades there in Apt. They're just literally not even trying to overwhelm. I think it was Bialy.
Yeah. I feel like in that situation as well, you're perfectly fine just waiting out the smoke. Worst case scenario, like you don't really have too much utility to work with. You had 3 smokes as well, and they didn't use a single one of them. So if you don't have any flashes, running through smoke probably not going to work out for you. But still, they do have 6 rounds. But Virtus.pro, they're working their way back into it. 4 rounds in a row.
Trying to keep this game going. Deep Molotovs and lots of HE grenades going down Banana for VP. Look at the utility already into this round. They had full utility. They've used it all. Every last shred, apart from a couple of smokes and a single incendiary left on this CT side. Renegades hold on to a full stack. So definitely going to be favoured here, but this time VP do have more information to play with. They've gone for a more aggressive style on B. A rotation towards that A side once again. VP stacking as they did consistently on that first map of Train, and leaving Snacks alone towards Banana with the AWP. Renegades looking like they want to go for the execute though. With smoke starting to go down, VP, they have no Molotovs really to throw out, at least in response. We may see this fast rotate down Banana from Snacks once Renegades at least show the bomb on this site, but Pasha, edge of the smoke, almost caught an angle there. He's going to have to make a big decision here. Does he commit to this or does he fall back? Because the smoke is down, he throws a molly in front of it, but he's just going to hide on the other side. He calls for a teammate to come in, and Neo tries to make contact with Ustillo. Just going to run on through. Maybe he's splitting the CT spawn, but no, Neo does find one of the entry, and Pasha runs in through the smoke. It does work out for him for a single kill, but it's just JKS left, and Bialy's locked it down for the pit. Once again, 3 kills from the man himself. And VP, they've caught up.
They've caught up definitely. Tied ball game. Well, not ball game, obviously. Tied CS match, and Renegades are actually going to opt for a tactical timeout here. They're running into a bit of a brick wall as of right now. But their A executes haven't necessarily been too polished in that sense. Like they throw out very basic smokes and don't necessarily have the flashes to follow it up on. In every instance, you've seen Bialy being pretty much untouched and Pit. Even in Arch, where the few people they can commit to that area of the map, they're never really able to clear out or get favorable trades and actually force the defense to shift focus. And even though, yeah, Virtus.pro not doing anything like out of the ordinary in that sense, Pasha initially playing the same position we saw Neo in as well.
Yeah.
It's just the fact that VP have done a good job of making sure they got their backs covered.
And good timing as well from Pasha on the push. Like I like the fact that he waits for his teammate to make contact, and when Renegades, all their attention is on Neo, Pasha just pushes in the backline and gets a kill. You know, he just keeps them on their toes.
Oh, absolutely. Keeps them guessing, keeps them looking away from Bialy, who's just wreaking havoc from the pit area as well, picking up 3 frags in that previous round. And now it's back to Eco for Renegades. I'm seeing continued aggression from Virtus.pro and Banana, with Mihu playing forward as the sole defender. And once more, we have a 4-man setup. And considering how successful Renegades was with their B pushes and B setups to start things off, I'm kind of surprised that we haven't seen more of it as of late. And Snacks doesn't want to be outdone by Bialy. Finds a 3-kill of his own. Jacob and Nifty, they're going to be moving up towards that B bomb site. Only 1-for-1 trade from Mihu, but rotations are going to be in time. Snacks are already in the right place at the right time. He's also got Pasha to back him up. Won't need any help, though.
I like the confidence, though. VP's showing, or at least flexing their muscles. Snacks with 4 kills in that round and just chasing down the last player. A risky play, of course, but if you're confident you're going to win the duel, and of course you do, it only will keep Renegades, you know, I don't want to say fearful, but like honest.
Yeah, honest is a good way of putting it. And I think Snacks also knows that he has Pasha right behind him. So even if he were to go down, the likelihood of Jacob being able to find a multi-frag and then getting a bomb plant is highly unlikely. So that means Virtus.pro are looking at a lead for the first time in the game so far, but we do have a fully bought up Renegade squad. Nifty, who's, well, yet to really make his mark on the game, with an AWP in his hands, and now we're seeing more of the what gave Renegades the early good start. Taking B control, Jacob has been doing an excellent job here together with Azza to find openings at least. I'm actually surprised to see so much, or the majority of the Renegade squad actually moving this far up towards the A bomb site. I would have just kept pouncing on that B bomb site for as long as I can.
I mean, it's early days, it can always rotate. Not committed so far.
They're using quite a bit of utility though. JKS still has a Molotov. Yeah, they're going to rotate back. This time around though, the benefit is there's no 4-man setup on A like we've seen in the last couple of rounds from Virtus.pro. They've stacked up pretty deep as well on the B bomb site, so no early rotations to fear for if you're Renegades too.
Pasha getting to a position that was just Molotoved off seconds ago, so Renegades need to make sure they clear this, although
it's a double setup as well.
Yeah.
Here's where the apartment players from Renegades can play a massive difference.
There's the trade. Push still up. Pasha could have found 2 there, but at least one's good enough. The issue is Neo's run through the smoke, and Azza will not expect the pace. Nifty's had a slow map so far, but this is where he needs to kickstart because the bomb's going down. Very fast zoom sense. He's going to be able to flick back between the two, keep his eyes on lock, because VP, they set up slow. There's no rush for this retake. They do have the man advantage and plenty of nades to get on back in.
Yeah, 2 smokes to section off people, a Molotov to force whoever's on site out of position, or potentially Pit to limit their angle.
Already
peeking ahead of the smoke, that's dangerous, but instead it's going to be Nifty, not aware of Snacks from the library, and that leaves JKS on his own, but finds 2 players, but Neo coming in from quad side, being able to clean up the mess that almost were to be. Finds the defuse as well in time. Valiant effort, though, from JKS on the site.
Wow, that was scarily close, but nice work from VP at least to get the retake done and keep this lead as well. It looked like what could have been a bit of a repeat of trade in the sense of Renegades running away with it, but VP have now found a hell of a lot of rounds on this CT side. Is this flawless since? No, this is 7
rounds in a row.
Right? Yeah, this is pretty crazy from VP, showing they don't want to go out of this map so quickly. And I mean, this only follows up with all the other games we've seen here in StarSeries in terms of making no sense. Not to say VP don't deserve this victory. They've been playing very well. And victory, I would say, very early on into this game, but that's the bomb. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Renegades, what's going on now? VP have found the first kill up in Banana, and Jacob has dropped it on the other side of the smoke. Look at this. 3 players here for VP. They actually get it out of there. Oh no, VP was throwing nades. Mihu didn't have his rifle out, so he wasn't able to take down Nifty, who just grabs a bomb, tucks tail, and gets the hell out of there. VP, who originally were going to rotate off A, have now gone back into position, knowing that Renegades might just hit this site.
Yeah, Renegades, if they use too much time, the rotations are going to be there in time anyway. Rather quick so far, though, but they're going towards the direction of where the rotations are coming in from. So Mihu's going to be in place. You also have Bialy sitting in Archway, too. And now, yeah, the Renegades have definitely used too much time. And again, I'm kind of disappointed in the fact that they went away from this B approach over and over again. Yeah, sure, Jacob goes down, but still, you have a ton of room to work with later on in the round. But maybe they're listening. You have also Ustillo on a bit of a flank. Well, he's going to get taken out by Bialy as I say that. And Snacks up in top, Banana, not Molotov'd out. 1 by 1, Renegades walk in. And, easy kills to find for Snacks. JKS all by his lonesome, finds Bialy as he pushes out. Actually finds the second one as well, but can't really move on it. Molotov was down, it's going to smoke off spawn, but 3 HP and 3 players to find on the side of VP.
Yeah, unrealistic to expect this with 15 seconds as well, because look how close Neo is. The second he goes for the plant, we will see a push, and even though he doesn't commit to it, Neo wins the duel. That was a very underwhelming latter stage of the heart from Renegades. Of course, not to take it away from VP, they played very well. The rotates were good. They had good map control, at least on the A site, with constant stacks. But as you said, like, not only were VP not contesting the Banana, or rarely contesting the Banana, they were playing very passive towards the back of the sites, which gives Renegades all this map control. And as you said, again, first 6 rounds, that's all Renegades did. They just exploited the fact that Banana was free, and the only couple of rounds VP actually contested it, Renegades would just cut them off and section them off with Molotovs towards the top of the choke. So again, VP just not changing the setup on B, but for some reason, Renegades don't feel like walking into it, and yeah, they give away 8 rounds in a row to VP, and I feel like that while VP play well, it's a lot of Renegades' own mistakes.
Yeah, no, they have kind of served it up on a platter for Virtus.pro as well. The fact that, like, if you meet initial resistance on taking banana control, it's perfectly fine to give it up. And yes, you would probably have to expend a little bit more utility to regain control of Banana, but I think that's definitely an option worth exploring if you're Renegades, especially when you've gotten pretty much nothing out of your ATEX for the better part of it. And when you have, it's been off the back of clutches and whatnot. So
what is this buy? Oh my, I love it. What have we got here?
2 smokes.
4 pistol, 4 nade players, sorry, on VP.
Yeah, no, that's very, very unorthodox, very old school in that sense. A lot more utility to play off of. I'm really curious to see how this is going to pan out, where they're going to be throwing all of this.
I don't even know how you can use 4 smokes. Like, how are you going to get the usage out of 4 smokes? I don't know. We're going to find out. Going through the apps, VP.
Guess, yeah, some of them has to be for the after plant position. So maybe you put down the one-way smoke in apps to walk out of the terrace, but after that you want to obviously like re-smoke off archway to make a retake harder.
But Renegades have 4 players here, so when you say, you know, for the after plants, that's if VP even get this bomb down. They might not even have full usage of this utility, but 3 smokes go straight out, and the flashbangs will follow. We need some mollies in the pit here, because Ustillo has a good position to hold on to, but they may just overwhelm him. He spots Snacks, does take down Mihu, trying to follow up. Second kill for Ustillo, but he can't find the third. The site's still under the control of Renegades, though, as VP have just been slapped out of this round. Bialy's still stuck in the apartments, and while Snacks is in the pit, Renegades have no problem with that. They give him the control, they give him the position. Azza, another kill coming through. He does take down Bialy, and even though Snacks trades, it's a 1v3 in the back of the pit, and Renegade's going to hunt him down. They want to pull this game back, and that is a good start.
That's a very good start. Again, cool idea from Virtus.pro. I'm not really sure what the idea behind the Molotovs was, though. You can see 3, as you mentioned, 3 of the smokes go out. They do kind of create that little bit of a gap with the balcony smoke that allows you to get out into pit. Ustillo does a great job finding 2 kills, also doing significant damage onto a third one. And regardless of what kind of strategy you have, you need to be able to actually fight back in those scenarios for it to be successful.
It was a very similar setup from Optic when they showed on Dallas at Inferno so many times. They would go for this on rifle rounds, so they would go for this like smoke wall to pit, and then they would jump into pit, leave a player there, not fight anyone.
Just sit back and
wait for the smokes to fade, and then use that pit player to isolate the players on the site while the short wrap came through as well. It was like a really nice execute because even though the CTs know there's a man in pit, they can't force the kill because the Ts have short.
Yeah, no, that is very true. And if maybe that was the end game plan of Virtus.pro, maybe using the Molotovs to kind of clear out pit without necessarily clear out the A bomb site without necessarily having to move out of pit. But it doesn't really come to fruition as Ustilo does such a remarkable job initially to fend off the push. Wow. A lot more SMGs this time around. We've seen Renegades being very heavy on rifles. JK firing off some early shots. Gonna find 2 kills immediately. And, JK is not being able to follow up on it, but JK doing a great job finding 3 frags as is already rotated in. That does leave Bialy. And his Lonesome has gotten a UMP, and he's going to get a bomb plant as well. But look at all the utility on the side of Renegades. There's no way Bialy should be able to get away with this one.
He's got armor, that's the thing. No head armor.
He's using a UMP instead of a ZZ. I'm not sure I'm a big fan.
I question that. Especially when Renegade's going to be well equipped. They're going to have head armor. It's not like he can get a lucky one-shot, but he can get a lucky flank. Ustilo, Molotov on the back line. Bialy not going to choose to run through it, and they're already on the defuse. If he ran through that molly, he could have saved the round, but he's just got to hope that they're not sticking it. However, incorrect in his assumption.
There you go. Just very well done by Renegades, utilizing their utility in a perfect manner. They smoke off a couple of sections of the map, use the Molotov to hold their backs, and from that point on, yeah, not a whole lot of options for Bialy. As he said, pretty much the only thing he could have done is run through the Molotov, hope for the best, and even then he's going to be running into a smoke cloud, really, and try to figure out where Nifty is sitting inside of all of that. Well, there we have it.
Ooh, Renegades. Oh, sorry, VP. Look at this buy. We've got an AK, a UMP, and 3 pistols. They've forced it up again.
But funnily enough, because so many players on the side of Renegades went down, they've upgraded to rifles as well. Not nearly the same amount of SMGs on the Australians at this point, so that's going to be tougher for Virtus.pro to deal with as well. They're obviously eyeing the opportunity to get a reset on Renegades, but it's going to be so much harder now. I guess lack of utility is one thing that you can look at, especially with Renegades towards that B bomb site. JKM and JKS not really having anything at all, and they're going to get to really aggressive positions as well. They don't have a secondary smoke here, so they're just going to have to rely on firepower, and that's where the AKs can really come into play, or the AK on Bialy.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? It's not like VP even have a really good force here. This is a pretty shocking force, but they made something of it. Bialy's dropped JKS down the banana early on. He tried to get very aggressive, and now Ustilo are going to choose to push up in the apartments to try and keep this man advantage, or at least equalize it. Back to a 4-on-4.
Yeah, this is something Ustilo did repeatedly versus Hellraisers as well, actually. Gets pressured on one side of the map, immediately goes aggressive. We saw him down in second mid quite a few instances.
The VP is still hitting this B site, and that's the issue. Renegades have no info, right? They're playing passive. Nifty and Jacob towards the, I guess, crossfire, essentially. And VP with no smoke for the CT spawn. That's very, very dangerous.
Question is if Nifty's going to be able to use that Molotov at all. Jacob doesn't really have an angle to deal with it.
One coming through. Nifty still keeping things alive, and he only has to delay this push. He doesn't need to force kills in this scenario. Just wait for the rotates to come in, but they're too late. Now the bomb going down, and Renegade's only just leaving the site, seeming like they weren't convinced by the push of VP, considering that was a force. Expecting maybe a little bit more from that round, and now they're finally back here, but time is already ticking.
Yeah, forward position from Posh as well. Neo is low on HP, but he's probably not going to show himself at all. And if he still goes down to Pasha here, that's could very well be the end of it. Oh, he just doesn't check the corner as well. Neo goes down, though. A little bit of unnecessary aggression from him, but time is ticking against Azza. He does have a defuse kit. Is he just going to stick it?
Oh, yeah. So close. Oh, the shot's almost missed, but Pasha does follow up. I feel like at that point, Azza just wanted to commit to the defuse, hoping that Pasha wouldn't fully face, and it was close.
After the first burst, maybe a lot of players would have instinctively dropped the defuse to try to get a refrag. So heads up really from both players, as is sticking it and Pasha realizing that, well, okay, he's actually committed to this.
Yeah, they both actually played that really, really well. Because I feel like
it was only Az's only chance of winning that round, I think.
Yeah, like even on the flip side as well, in Pasha's scenario, I'm surprised that he actually re-peeked back in, because a lot of players would shoot once and then assume that the player got off the bomb. But
absolutely
no.
so. Oh. Nifty's not having a fun game.
That's what Nifty's doing.
100% correct.
That's his perspective, and I don't blame him.
Yeah, Nifty's been getting battered. He's got 2 frags to his name so far, and Renegades were doing so well early on as well. Now you get shot through walls and whatnot. Doesn't add to the fun by any means.
That's such funny timing, though.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
You think to yourself, like, okay, I got tagged a little bit by the Molotov. I'll be fine. And a shot to the back of the head through a paper-thin wall ends it all. But VP on their end seemingly found some inspiration from the early rounds of Renegades here. They're going to be badgering this B bomb site from the looks of it. 3 players set up in Banana, just waiting for someone to peek out from Renegades. But Renegades not there, and they're doing kind of the similar move as they did versus StarSeries as well. That time it was Jacob. Actually, they move away from that position. We had a bit of a bait position with Jacob and Ustilla. This time it's going to be JKS on top of the boost to try to take away some attention from Jacob. Oh, the opposite way around, actually. JKS needs to find multiple frags, not going to connect with anything at all, and that's the B bomb site lost. As is close by, but what can you really do? You've got a CZ versus 4 actually, angry Polish players. Snacks, though, somehow notices that Ustilla's behind him at the right time, and 11th round for Virtus.pro is about to come up.
This is not what I expected.
No, I'll definitely agree with that.
Didn't we say this, though? Didn't we just say this before the game?
Nothing makes sense anymore.
Nothing makes sense anymore. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So
It started out making sense. I guess that might have. This is why it's catching us off guard, right? Because the Renegades started off really well, 6-1, just punishing that B bomb side. You only really saw one response from it with Snacks on the op, and that was more down to the fact that they gave him so many opportunities of just finding 1-by-1 picks. Still something that Renegades could definitely work with the utility in their hands. They can force them constantly off angles and whatnot. And then they just stopped going there. They continued going back towards that A bomb site. That didn't work out really at all. And as a result, Virtus.pro managed to climb back into the game. And I guess we can still see whether or not Virtus.pro fall for the same mistake. Again, though, moving towards Banana, and that 3-man stack aggressively is not going to pad out. Pasha and Snacks finding 4 out of the 5 players. And well, there we go. Neo closes out as well. But if you're Virtus.pro and you've kind of caught on to this, the fact that Renegades haven't really been able to be efficient in their defenses towards B, you just keep going towards that side until they actually make you change up your game plan.
This is getting a bit worrying for Renegades. They're going to have one of their last opportunities of the map here. AWP for Nifty. But again, as you said, 2 kills. He's the only weak link right now for Renegades, apart from the scoreline being pretty low as well. And VP are looking confident here in map number 2 to try and pull us all the way to cash. Triple B set up and some aggression coming through. Renegades want to speed up the pace, and it does work out for 1, but the instant trade through smoke is all that VP need. A 1-for-1 is going to favour this T side, and JKS still committing. He still is not happy with the scenario. Flash through the smoke, and he does find the dig, but he's so blind. Snacks takes him down, and that's such an awkward battle to lose for Renegades, because Azza was not committed to try and trade. Azza was not trying to bail out his teammate there.
I was about to say, like, the first initial aggressive move from Jacob makes perfect sense. Like, you haven't had much going for you. You also have you have a 3-man setup initially on the B bomb side. So if you can go 1-for-1, that's fine. You put a ton of pressure. You keep Virtus.pro out of Banana for free initially, and you still have plenty to follow it up on if Virtus.pro were to push through. But JKS just isolating himself, not finding anything is a massive mistake, and you're still just going to go down to Pasha as well.
Oh, nice shot from Nifty. Maybe he can find his form here, where it really matters, but look at this rotate from VP. Azza's got to turn all the way back and go towards that B site because no one's committed. No noise is being made up on A. Nifty's going to call for Azza to commit to the site that he's currently on, just in case, but they're split. And already with 2 players pushing up the top, they're going to peek together. Mihu trades, and Azza only found 1. Like, it's not enough in this situation. Renegades now having to find the clutch, and it's all on Nifty. He's had a slow game. He's got to start off here and now because VP are going to the post plant. Snacks, low HP, but with Nifty on the AWP and no strong sidearm to at least pull that out, he's probably got to commit to this AWP fight or just fall on back, and I think he's already chosen the latter of the 2.
Yeah, I think that's a smart choice as well. Not a fun feeling to have to save at that kind of point, but needs to be done. Right now, Nifty needs to get into the thick of things earlier. We did see a bit of a change-up from Virtus.pro as well. They decided to put Snacks with that op in Banana to see if he can find early flags. Maybe that's where they need to unleash Nifty as well. Actually, having him be a bit proactive. We did see in the Hellraisers games that Nifty would constantly poke and prod down mid and towards second mid at the start of rounds. Haven't really been able to catch any of that. But he needs to change something up because right now he's a non-factor for Renegades, and that's obviously not what you can have from your main opper.
Look at the buy, or lack of, for Renegades. Pistols, armor, that one saved AWP that I'm not leaning towards having too much effect in this. VP, 3 rounds away from bringing us to cash here. And I can't say I expected this, especially after the massive defeat that they experienced on Train, with Renegades looking so much better than they are right now. Deflated here in the 22nd round. CZ for Jacob. He's still trying to carry his team through it. He does start off. There's one looking to double down, but going for far too much there. Bialy's going to win the duel at range with the AK, and Ustilo does move into position, but Mihu's there and ready and waiting. No way that you'd expect 2 players coming in through the balcony, so VP, they catch him off guard. Nifty losing the AWP on B as well, as Pasha wins that AWP battle. And even though JKS picks it back up, it's a small consolation in a list of huge failures here for Renegades in the second half. VP with a 2-man advantage, and even though they do look to hit this B site at the moment, this kill to Azza can certainly change things, but okay, Azza gets the frag, and JKS also locks down that B site. Now VP wanting to divert their attention. They don't want to walk into the AWP that's just going to be posted on Banana, and luckily enough, JKS reads it. So a double rotation to A for Renegades, their best chances yet, as VP still equipped well, and Mihu will take the kill with the AK. Now that's a B player. They can just wrap the spawn and win the round.
Question is Pasha going to hear Azza running quickly down Banana? He's still might be... Okay, yeah, he's onto it. Problem is, though, he's going to be isolated. He's not going to be anywhere near enough to actually help out Mihu in this kind of situation. Luckily, Mihu just decides to tuck tail and go into the corner of the B bomb site. So Pasha's going to be there in time. Smoke comes down as well. Well, as he crawls through the smoke, Mihu has all the time in the world to adjust. 14 rounds for Virtus.pro, and Renegades, they continue to run into the same issues over and over again. It's again, I think that if they have Kassad behind them in these kind of scenarios, that's definitely something he would pick up on and basically, you know, force them to deal with it. Right now, we're not really seeing any sort of adaptation from it, where we've seen them just fall for the same mistakes repeatedly. That's
been one big thing, right? Since the departure of Kassad, this team has gone from on the rise, looking like they can become, you know, a new top-tier team, a new
pretty
force,
consistent team as well.
A consistent team, definitely, since last year, like the latter stage, November last year onwards, and now just fallen to this inconsistent team where we don't know what to expect, and every game, one player can just completely fall off the face of the earth.
It's very much been a roller coaster with watching Renegades right now from map to map. It's obviously not something you can build a whole lot off of. Like one-off appearances or showings aren't necessarily something you want to have on your resume. Double op setup seems to be the desperation call from Renegades, and it's not really something we see too often from them. We saw it on the T side when everything was working, but this is not the reliable go-to move for Renegades, at least.
And fearful on the B site as well. We've already saw some aggressive plays from Renegades not working out, so they've completely thrown that away. They don't want to get picked up on Banana anytime soon. So a passive setup here, which is fine. Again, with the AWP already at the back of the site, and Jacob playing close orange as well. It's not a bad setup, but somehow Pasha just destroys JKS with nothing coming through.
Yeah, a walk pick into the bomb site. That leaves Jacob alone, and he's going to get some help eventually from Nifty. But again, this weakens the A bomb site so significantly. Question for Renegades right now is that, do you want to set up for that double ops setup, double pit setup, or do you want to actually move aggressive? And they seem to be thinking towards the latter of it. They need to get at least 3 kills here to have any sort of shot. Azza gets taken out to 40 HP with that Molotov as well. This is just slowly whittling away for them.
VP getting ready to go for the execute as well. Round 23, and there's 30 seconds left, but that should be more than enough time for the Polish Madhouse. They're going to dive on through the apartments. Azza, good position, but he's so blinded. Great utility from VP, and he gets stuck in the Molotov as well, going down to the flames of Snacks, and VP are running rampant over the round. Ustilo has to find something, but as a smoke fades, VP are just going to pick them up one by one, and Nifty, he can't find more than a single frag, leaving Jacob alone, and on the other side of the map, VP can get the plant in, and that's a 15th round almost guaranteed here for the Polish. Looking to take us to cash, and yeah, Jacob's going to give it to them. 15 rounds up, nothing he can do about it. And Renegades playing off a loss bonus for what could be the final round of the map.
Yeah, it's not like, okay, yeah, they have max loss bonus, but look at how little money they have to actually go off of it on. So, nothing really to speak of.
Both pistols as well for Renegades.
Yeah.
Take that into account. They're
it's like the godsend game, isn't it?
Yeah, right. Where they win
Three
rounds,
pistols.
3 pistols and
And
6
get
rounds.
6 rounds in total of over 2 maps. Not impressive. But again, it's them making their job remarkably hard. They've found an opening into VP's defense on their T side. They go away from that after one failed attempt, and there's no real logical explanation as to why they would just keep getting their face smashed on A repeatedly. Didn't make a whole lot of sense to any of us. And same can be said for the CT side. Obviously, they've gotten off to a bit of a rockier start in that sense, economically speaking, but they've made a lot of just poor calls. I mean, we've seen the aggression from JKS and Banana never really working out, especially when he's isolated from his teammates as well after JKM had the 1-for-1 trade. Not a whole lot of it makes sense to me. Nifty has been a non-factor on both sides of the map as well.
That being said, while there have been mistakes from Renegades, I don't want to take this away from VP. They have been playing some stellar Counter-Strike.
Very different VP side than what we saw on Train. Snacks being probably the brightest star of them all.
And
really.
great trading as well. If we think about this, we haven't seen any rounds on this entire half where Renegades have had a man advantage and been able to get out of that without VP instantly trading. Look at these banana fights. Yep. Like, even if Renegades go aggressive and get a kill, it's straight traded by VP. When Renegades are on the T side and VP would get aggressive down banana, they would sometimes just get a kill and run away. Renegades not having that opportunity, and VP are just taking them away here from the Aussies.
That's nifty. Again, like, versus Hellraisers, he was confident enough to actually push down on that and check into second mid. Doesn't really seem to be in a place where he wants to do that. Now it's going to fall back, and it's going to be the same thing over and again for Renegades. They don't really dictate the pace of the game or force too much out of Virtus.pro. They have gotten banana control. Again, it's a setup that hasn't been working out repeatedly because when VP actually decided to retake banana control late, they actually want to use utility to clear out space, and that's something Renegades never did.
VP, the top of mid under their control. Renegades do have that bottom banana, but unless they get very, very aggressive, it shouldn't be too much of a problem for VP. They're just going to completely bypass that by taking the A site, or at least trying to. Az is close. Boosted up as well, but with him being so close up to the smoke, there's no way he'll be able to be spotted. I actually might push through this. He hears the drop as well. This is good for Az, but Mihu, again, so good around the edge of these smokes. Another frag coming through. VP with a man advantage, and Renegades are yet to rotate. They may push down mid here to come in from behind, and Nifty, again on the site, putting up a kill. He's got support from the pit to watch his long wrap, but he needs to be very, very aware. Because actually, the player in the pit isn't watching the long wrap. The player in the pit is just hiding in the back, and that's not going to be enough here. Ustillo is smoked off as well. Neo found the entry to Nifty in the meantime, and Ustillo, he needs a hero play. He needs a godsend, but it won't happen. Snacks is going to drop him. And VP, it seems like they're going to be bringing us to a third map here in this best of 3, because it's Jacob and JKS left for the retake.
It's almost a guarantee at this point. Jacob does have a Molotov that he can drop down into pit, but look at the positioning. JKS is about to get, face the wrath of Bialy, and Snacks closes it out 16-8 in favor of VP. So they turn it around completely on Renegade's map pick after getting battered on their own. And, well, you can't say much more than the fact that it's fully deserved. They play like a much better team. Renegades just kind of shooting themselves in the foot, going away from the one thing that worked for themselves on the T side. And again, just not getting a whole lot in terms of like taking command of the game on the CT side either.
Snacks and Mihu. That's a duo I love to see. What a game, though. I mean, none of that made any sense in terms of like previous results and also what we've seen from these teams on these maps. And just base this off of the fact that Renegades, as we've already said, were off to a 6 start in this game. They were 6-1 up. They looked like they had control. They were seeming confident on the T side, taking great B sites and not really faltering. And then it literally just went from, oh yeah, let's stop hitting B, let's hit A, let's lose 7 rounds in a row, and then just tilt for the second half and not find anything.
No, it was really weird. And if Renegades end up winning, I would love to see what the explanation for all of that was and a winner's interview. And that remains to be seen, though we still have cash to go. But going on off of Inferno, this now it comes into the same scenario we found ourselves in a couple of times. Third map could be anybody's games, because if Renegades are going to be this inconsistent, then we can't really hold them as clear favorites going into cash.
Yeah, and while you can see Map's best players, Azza and Jacob, we had an Aussie step up, we had Jacob step up, but Nifty, he was silent in that map. There were a couple of kills coming into that second half, but really nothing to save any kind of rounds. 5 in the entire map, the IGO and Orpa.
0 entry kills as well. And like obviously you don't expect an operator on the T side to necessarily get many openings, but on the CT side versus Hellraisers, one of the things that really messed with Hellraiser's T side was the fact that Nifty would constantly prod into her second mid with a deep mid push, just taking that one shot. Even if it doesn't kill anything, it just puts your opponents at unease. He didn't dare to do that a single time. He had plenty of opportunities to do so, or well, I say plenty. He had a few opportunities to do so, but just opted not to go for it.
And like that's part of the mental game as well. If you're down like 4 or 5 rounds, you kind of get into the mindset, especially on the CT side, it's like, okay, I don't want to get aggressive and give them a pick and then throw away this game.
We can't lose this round.
We can't afford to. We can't afford to get aggressive. And that's kind of maybe the mindset that he was in.
And the downside was that was not the mentality that they had in Banana. They kept going aggressively there a couple of times, and it never really panned out.
Well, either way, that's an awkward result for Renegades, but VP certainly looking better than that of Train. We're going to head over to Cash in just a few minutes, so join us there.